Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Women Wednesdays. I'm one of your hosts, Chrissy Souders, and I'm super excited about our discussion today with Heidi Otway. So I'll let everyone introduce themselves and make sure you share this post, tag your friend, and engage with us. Share your comments and questions with us and get out a notepad and paper. Join us for the perfect pitch. Barbara, we'll start with you.
That's right. Hi, everybody. My name is Barbara Westcott. I'm the founder of Women Wednesdays, and I've had the great honor of working with Heidi Otway in the past. In fact, back in 2017, she did a presentation for us called The Perfect Pitch. So we are very excited to have her back. She's really an amazing woman, and we're so lucky to have her techniques to help us develop it for ourselves. So I'll hand it over to Tamara.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tamara Smith. I am the regional director of an awesome organization, regional director of the Panhandle called One More Child. We're historically Florida Baptist Children's Homes, and I'm so excited to be with you today. As usual, we have lots going on. We have a diaper drive going on here. It's time to start getting some gifts for children and families in our community with Operation Merry Christmas. So if you want to find out more about how you can work with us to support children and families in our communities, you can go to onemorechild.org to find out. And I'm also all over the internet doing as well. You can find me on Boss Babes of Miami. I'm a part of that executive board, and we just support women in business. So I know I told some of those boss babes to tune in today. Shout out to you.
Well, great. Very, very good. So go ahead. Lanisha, take it away. Tell us about you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lanisha Thornton. I am the proud owner of Running Buzz Bartending Services here in Tallahassee, Florida. We specialize in providing mobile bartending and beverage catering services for events of all ages and sizes across the entire state of Florida. We not only serve cocktails, but we also serve mocktails. And for more information, you can find us at www.runningbuzzbartending.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn by using @RunningBuzzBartending.
April.
Hi, I'm April Fitzpatrick. I'm a visual artist and art therapist, and I'm the founder and owner of Pineapples with Purpose, an accessible art therapy service that brings art and the pineapple to help individuals peel back the layers of trauma. I'm on Instagram and Facebook by Pineapples with Purpose. We integrate the pineapple's growth and journey to help individuals and families transform systems of oppression to get to a higher self using fail-free and risk-free art experiences. Picture the pineapple, now never see the pineapple the same.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dana Brower. I am the owner of Knots and Mame All Natural Holistic Products. I produce all natural skin and hair care products, and I also produce herbal tinctures and preparations. My goal is to teach our community how to take care of minor health care issues a natural way and be the provider of those very simple preparations. My goal in the long run is to serve our community in a way that they can help themselves become more natural and whole.
Well, and of course, now we're going to introduce the one and only Heidi Otway, who's the president of SalterMitchell PR, and she's going to be working with our guest today to perfect their pitch. So Heidi, you take it away.
Okay, yeah, let's go right into the deck. I got a couple of 5 tips I'm going to be sharing with you all today to help you improve your elevator pitch. And as you all know, the elevator pitch is where you have about 20 to 30 seconds to talk to someone and let them know who you are, what you do, and why they should pay you some attention. If you're in an elevator. And what's interesting is that we're now because of the pandemic, communicating via more virtual channels, whereas in the past, you would actually share your elevator pitch at a networking event, at a restaurant where you were meeting with someone for the first time, at the coffee shop, at the park, while you're walking your dog. You may run into someone, you have this conversation, and they always say, well, what do you do? What do you do? So that's where the elevator pitch normally comes in. Now that we're having these virtual conversations, you all know what it's like being on Zoom all the time. We are on Zooms for work. We are on Zooms going to church now. We're on Zooms to connect with our family members who can't come to our homes anymore like we used to. And guess what happens when you're on Zoom? You're always distracted for the most part, unless someone is, sharing something really compelling with you. If you're working from home, as I was sharing with the ladies earlier, my husband could be in the background saying, hey, I want a sandwich. And I'm in the middle of a Zoom call and I look down and it's 6:00 at night and I got to go make him dinner, right? So you have all these distractions. So now your elevator pitch has to be really succinct, and it really has to engage the person who may be on the other side of the screen instead of the person who is sitting right next to you when you're in the restaurant. So let's kind of dive in. And I'm going to share with you that the elevator pitch, I started perfecting it a couple of years ago. I went to a conference of public relations professionals across the state, and there was a speaker there who was a former reporter, and she put us in groups and she wanted us to kind of talk about ourselves. And I want to share with you how I used to describe myself when I first got into the PR industry. So here we go. Hello. My name is Heidi Otway, and I'm the president of SalterMitchell Public Relations, a firm based in Tallahassee. We do marketing and communications. So how many of you all, raise your hand, say this about yourself? You say your name, where you work, what your title is, and what you do. Very basic, right?
I do that.
Yeah. And earlier you gave us your elevator pitches, which were good. You all had some of the elements that I'm going to share with you during our conversation. But let's go a little bit deeper, because we're more than just our name. We're more than just our title. We're more than just where we work. And we're more than just what we do, right? So let's dive in a little bit more and talk about our dopeness. Okay? We're talking about why we are dope. Every woman has a story, right? And the story is made up of our values, our experiences, our knowledge, our impact, our character, and our actions, right? And one of the things that I've learned a couple of years ago, and I'm going to share a lot of my experiences, which got me to where I am today. I had the pleasure of going to a global leadership conference in Paris with public relations professionals all over the world. And so I get in this room and I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, why am I here? I had a moment of imposter syndrome, right? I did not feel that I should have been there with all these global communicators who were like leaders in their industry, in their agencies, right? So it was so serendipitous that I was there because there was a session that made us focus on what brought us to being a part of that global group. And the moderator said, you know what? We don't reflect enough. You don't spend enough time thinking about what makes you good or what got you to where you are. And they took us through these series of exercises that says, what's good about what you do? What are your skill sets? What makes you who you are? And literally, I'm having this moment where I was like, I never focus on what I've done to get me here today. I'm always focused on the next thing, the next one. Think about us women. We're wives, we're mothers, we're leaders. We have people that lean on us, come to us for advice. And we're always focused on, doing these things, but we never look back to see, well, what did we accomplish when we did all that stuff? So the dopeness is reflecting on what makes you who you are. And the questions that I'm going to ask you are going to help you kind of define what makes you dope and what makes you good at what you do and why people should consider you when they're trying to make a decision whether to hire you or whether to support your business or whether to support or ask you to be a part of what they're doing, whether it's their board or their organization, right? Because that's what you want to do. You want to be that person. You want to be that catalyst. You want to be in that position. So let's get into the questions so we can all determine what our dopeness is and our story that we want to share. So the first question is, who do you serve? Who do you serve? So Lanisha, April, Dana, Tamara, Barbara, Chrissy, who do you serve? Barbara?
Women.
Okay. Dana?
Community.
Community. And can you be a little more specific with community? Is it a specific demographic? Is it a specific audience?
No, there's no specific demographic or audience. We have communities all over the place, whether that's a community on the north side or a community on the south side. I just believe in general that everyone needs to know how they can take care of their health in a more natural way.
Okay. All right. Lanisha.
I'm the same way, the community, everyone, adults, children, event planners, wedding planners, the list can go on.
Okay, so now you're getting a lot more specific, and that's important because most, in our industry, being as a professional communicator, I can't tell you how many people say I serve everyone, but then when you dig a little deeper into who actually procures your services, it may not be everyone, it's someone specific. So when you talked about the wedding planners and those party, they're the ones that bring you business?
Yes. Wedding planners, and a lot of the venues.
And the venues. So those are the ones that bring you business.
Yes.
Okay. And they're communicating, they're doing services for the community, but in reality, when you think about who do you really serve, it is the community, but it's through that channel of those planners, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. April. I can't hear you.
I service Black children and their families.
Very specific. Very good. Tamara.
Well, here's where I get hung up. I'm thinking from my work hat or from my perspective, just as Tamara. So in my position, I serve children and families.
Okay.
In need.
Okay. And Chrissy.
So as the owner of Kitschy Wearable Art, I serve artists and people who are wanting to purchase gifts for families and loved ones. Mm-hmm. And then as a live stream producer and host, I service businesses and entities who want to convey their message safely and virtually.
Okay, good. So everyone's nailed down who they serve. Okay, let's go to the next question. What problems do you solve? And that's a loaded question. That's a very loaded question. In my years of, doing professional development, business development, working with CEOs, Fortune 500 companies, businesses, nonprofits, and associations, they come to us to solve their problems. And their problems typically are specific to them communicating or engaging with a specific audience, right? The people that they serve. So you have to think about it from the perspective of that customer. What do you help them do? What do you help them achieve? In one session that I went at, someone said, "Can you get me out of my misery?" So let's start at the bottom. Chrissy, what problems do you solve?
So for Kitschy Wearable Art, the problems that we solve is to make art a little bit more accessible and visible in our everyday lives, and to offer artists another mechanism to be able to make their art more accessible, but maybe at a lower price range in a unique way. And then for live streaming, we solve the problem of getting the message out there virtually to expand your audience, whether it's a hybrid event or if it's full on virtual. It allows entities and nonprofits to still be able to hold their events, but make it visible to a much larger audience.
Okay, good. Lanisha.
That's kind of a tough one for me. We pretty much solve all the catering, the beverage catering in our services. We help create memories, entertainment, enhance the entertainment. That's a hard one.
Lanisha, you solve a lot of problems.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you give me the right beverage at the right time, and you're going to be solving a very good problem.
Yes.
Whether it's a mocktail or a cocktail, right? It's a mocktail or a cocktail. But, we're going to dive a little bit deeper because you just said you don't know, but I'm going to give you another step to help you figure that out a lot more, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to give you another step. Tamara.
Well, I love that comment. Well, I'll start by saying at One More Child, we solved the problem of resources and needs being met for foster children, single moms programs, trafficked children, and the needs of the family, both domestically and globally, and that as well as child hunger and those efforts.
Now, what do you do in all of that? What do you do in that?
Tamara, the person, and this is actually funny because Barbara and I have had this conversation before. Tamara works to solve the problem of connecting people with the information, resources, and insight that they need to live better lives, to thrive.
Yeah. Good. April.
So I think pineapple's a purpose. I think I solve 3 problems using the pineapple to destigmatize conversations around mental health in the Black community. Definitely bringing art to marginalized communities, specifically focusing on racial trauma by expanding their narratives and creating a sense of belonging. And I think the last one will be using the pineapple to disrupt systems of oppression by co-powering these communities to reconstruct their own individual power.
Okay, that's good. And we're going to go a little deeper into that too. Dana, what problems do you solve?
Oh, what problems do I solve? So far I've had people come in with various problems. So a lot of people, I guess I would say education about herbs, plants. Education is number 1. 2 is also education. People want to learn how to use plants and other herbal preparations to solve minor healthcare issues, skincare issues, asthma. So I guess it's education.
But a problem could be a health issue.
Yeah, the health issue also.
Right.
So health issues and education, educating people about what they can use opposed to some things that they've used that are prescription or chemical, and people that are just looking in general for another way.
Right. So alternatives to the various health products that are on the market.
Yes.
Okay. Barbara.
To build collaborative networks for women, because it's so hard to fulfill your mission on your own. So to provide a place where women can build collaborative relationships.
Good. So it almost sounds like connections. Right. You reduce barriers to connections between women. It sounds like something like that.
So yeah, it's like, again, it's just, if you're trying to do something on your own, it's challenging. You need a network.
So you help open doors.
Well, to me, I just feel like I think we all have talents and skills, and if we share them, then with each other, whatever it is we're doing, we can help us all get to the next step, whatever it is we're working on.
Okay, good. I'm asking you these probing words because those are the words that we're going to be using when we do the updates.
Okay.
So the next one, what are your solutions? So Barbara, what are your solutions? What are your solutions? Doors and connect.
I hope that my solutions, like you said, build that connectivity so you can learn and grow from each other.
So your solutions are your products, your services, your skills, your expertise.
Well, I can see, like, tomorrow, like, the tricky thing is it like, am I speaking about me and like introducing me and what I'm doing, or like organization Women Wednesdays?
Whichever one you want to talk about. So focus on your role as the head of Women Wednesday.
For me, it's about putting the things in place, the tools, the technology, the this, the that, like, so that something there that someone can utilize to build and grow with other people.
And it sounds like your solution are resources, because this form right here is bringing women together to get information and connect with others. So this form itself right here is a solution. So you can say, I am the founder host of Women Wednesday, an online program that brings women together from all over the community, right?
Yes. Well, yes.
Dana, what's your solution?
My solutions earlier. Oh gosh. My solutions are because they are products. I guess I would say they would be products that are already prepared, or products that I would need to do more research on, and what's the word I'm looking for?
So do you're producing products to sell to people that you said earlier were made from herbs and plant-based?
Yes.
Products, right?
Yes. So there's some that I've already created that are already proven to work, and then there are products that I have to customize for people because they have medical conditions or are already on a medication that a herb may interact with. So products.
Okay, so custom-made products.
Yes.
With the specific ingredients, and you're going to weave that in there, what those ingredients are, to get my attention.
Yes.
Okay, good. April.
I feel like I have too many solutions.
Three is always a good number. Three.
Art, the product of art, the experience of art is definitely a solution. My experience and knowledge as an art therapist, and the social emotional culture comes a curriculum that has been developed.
Okay, so you have art and a curriculum. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Tamara?
Well, for One More Child, we have our services, our resources, our partnership, and our credibility. We've been in existence for over 100 years, consistently working with children and families to improve their lives. For me, I think it's important to provide an opportunity for conversations that highlights the journey of people promoting a cause, a passion, a business at any point in their journey. So kind of having the conversation before the world has thought they made it, but highlighting their importance from the very beginning.
Okay, good. Lanisha?
I would say, as a certified mixologist, I would have to say creating signature cocktails and mocktails, and providing a service to the client's satisfaction to make sure that any beverages or anything that we create is to the client's satisfaction and presenting myself in a professional and classy manner.
I love that. So is it delicious? Are your drinks delicious?
They are. I haven't had any complaints yet.
Because that's important. It's got to taste good.
And it is. It's very important.
At the end of the day, it's got to taste good.
Yes.
And I love how you called yourself a certified mixologist. That got my attention.
Yes.
That got my attention.
Yes, it's a lot of training and education behind that.
Okay, well, that made me want to say, tell me more about that. So those are the things that you want to incorporate in your pitch. All right, Christy.
My solutions for live streaming, it's, I guess, for both live stream with pros and kitchen wearable art, it's bringing access to people who otherwise don't have the means to do so. Mm-hmm. So with live streaming with pros, it's basically creating a professional production for businesses who have built up their credibility and want that to translate in a virtual format.
Oh, that's good.
And then for kitschy wearable art, it's providing a wearable art that, with jewelry, it innately has that sentimental value and lasts for generations and generations and is passed down, from your grandmother to, your grandmother's wedding ring is passed down, when you get married or something of that nature. And so what we are providing is a piece that is accessible at an affordable price that has original art in it.
Okay, good. Okay, next question. What makes you different?
Oh, gosh.
What makes you different? And that's where it goes into, what is your superpower? That's what I like to always ask. What is your superpower? Chrissy, what's your superpower? What makes you different?
I do want to share a comment really quick from Janita, who says, very good to know that Dana lets people know that there are herbs that can interfere with current medications. Some people think just because items are natural is okay. Great educational opportunity.
Yep.
So I want to make sure I share that because I know it quickly popped up. Okay, so what are my superpowers? Well, I'm not a mom, which I think all moms are superheroes, so I can't say that I have that background. But what makes my product different? So kitschy wearable art, what we do is collaborate with artists to put their original art prints into a different type of product. Mm-hmm. And so I don't really know a lot of businesses out there that are doing what we're doing in that regards. Am I answering that kind of?
Yeah, and that's the key. What makes you different? I mean, what you just said made me think of wearable art. Is this wearable art?
Yeah. So.
And what makes it different from the other wearable art that's out there now?
What makes us different is that the product that we provide is still art. Right. So I work with resin, which is tree sap. And so each piece that I make is individually made, handmade art.
Handmade.
And
that's
so,
a good one.
I'm sorry?
No, that's good. Handmade.
Yeah. So unlike an art print where, you just print it off a printer, what we do is we encapsulate that art in art, essentially. So it keeps the art integrity of it in there.
Is it one of a kind?
Live streaming.
Is it one of a kind?
Yeah, all pieces are one of a kind, even though I can duplicate the process.
Okay.
And then live stream with pros, what makes us different is that we provide a platform. So businesses and nonprofits, they've worked so hard for their credibility and their identity and their branding. They spend a lot of money on it. And to basically be able to, keep that branding and credibility in a professional production. So that's what I offer, and that's what makes me different than Zoom.
Right, right. Very good. And I love what you said. That's what makes me different than Zoom, because everyone talks about Zoom. And I think to say that you're different from them is going to get folks' attention because we're tired of Zoom. Not tired of it, but it's the same. Okay. Lanisha.
What makes us different is we try to cater, well, we like to cater to any events, no matter the age, religion, or for whatever the personal reasons may be. We want to be able to provide services that safeguards everyone's reputation, including my own, by presenting myself in a professional manner, no matter what time of day or week it is. I not only represent my own business, but I also represent other individuals and businesses in the local community. And we want to be able to serve mocktails to children and let them know that they can also have a good mixed beverage. So we cater to birthday parties. We not only just cater to adults, we cater to, fundraising events, things like that. So that's what I feel like that makes us different.
I love that. I remember the first time my middle daughter, I think she was 9 years old, we took her to a restaurant and she says, "Mom, can I have a Shirley Temple?" And I said, "What?"
Yes. I have a 12-year-old.
For kids. And
I have a 12-year-old, so I get it.
Yeah, to this day, she's 24 years old, and that is her go-to drink, a Shirley Temple.
Yep.
Okay. April. Oh, I'm sorry, Tamara, and then April.
Well, okay. Well, what makes One More Child different is we are a faith-based organization. We are Florida Baptist Children's Homes. At our conception over 100 years ago, and our faith is that foundation for the work that we do. So it's great. It's even greater than just the human to human interaction. We also have that compass that guides us of being a Christ-centered organization. So when you are giving to One More Child, you know that our mission is even greater than us. It is to make sure that what we do is helping those that are in need truly.
Right.
And that's what we're dedicated to. For me, I would say I'm what's different. My perspective of having an eclectic career that goes from education into the retail industry, into media, and into nonprofits. My perspective and work, spending the past 20 years almost working with small business owners as they started from idea and executed all the way into a business, gives me an insight when I'm doing interviews and having conversations on different media platforms. One of understanding, one of empathy, and one of intention to make sure people understand the journey and that they walk away knowing how to become a support to that person.
Good, good. April. You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me? Okay. So after all these years, not even Dole Pineapple has thought about the pineapple moving away from simply just digesting it in a eatable manner. And so with my art therapy experience, I'm different because I take the metaphor and the symbolism of the pineapple to address the core of racial trauma, which is extremely
So
important
tell me,
in the climate that we
one
are
of the
in right
things
now.
you just touched on something. Why the pineapple?
Why the pineapple? Because unlike every other fruit, a apple you can bite into, an orange you can peel, a banana you can peel, the pineapple makes you work to get to the core. And when it comes to mental health, we have to work to get to the core of individuals. And so that challenges us to think of creative ways to reach people where
Can
they
I
are.
just throw in there? I just want to throw in there, if you haven't seen April's presentation, it's to me, it was life-changing. It's very powerful. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Heidi. So to
Outstanding.
throw that in there.
No, that's what we want to hear, because actually what you just said is going to take us into the fifth question. But let's go to Dana, and then Barbara, then you, and then what you said is sets up perfectly the next question to ask yourself. Dana, what makes you different?
This is hard for me because everything that I've learned from other people. There's a lot that I'm self-taught about. I wear so many hats. I began this journey as a baker. I have another business. My other business has been in business for 15 years, and this has kind of set me up for Knots in Maine. Because I'm a baker, I am really a crazy lady when it comes to preparation of my products, my ingredients. I use the best. I make the best. I create the best. I don't water down anything. If I say you're getting it, you're getting it. My cakes weigh 10 pounds. My medications, if I say they're strong, they're strong. They're not watered down in any kind of way. So I'm 100% behind anything that I produce. If I'm not 100% behind it, it does not walk out of my house or my kitchen or my lab. I think I'm not sure if there are a lot of herb shops in Tallahassee now. I know a few have closed, but I do believe I am the only Black-owned woman herbal shop in Tallahassee. Okay. So when someone walks into my shop, it is very important to me that they know that anything they walk out of my shop is made with quality ingredients. I care about them. I care about their well-being, and they will get 100% of my attention as my products do.
Write that down, what you just said.
Can I add something to that really quick? And it's only because I know Dana.
Yeah.
She also has lived it. She's gone through the suffering and has created things to help along the way. And so she's really applying what she has done
Self-care.
for her own journey. And
that's good.
Giving it.
Write that down.
I'm writing it down.
Write that down. Barbara.
Well, I think what makes Women Wednesdays different is just determination to disrupt the status quo for women, using innovation to really change it up. We don't have to do things the way they've always been done. And there's a lot of amazing women out there that deserve every chance as everyone else.
Yeah, and you're shining the spotlight on them. I mean, I watched a couple of programs and I saw people that I know and people that I didn't know. And I was just like, and the three women that you have here, I mean, I would have never met Dana or April or Lanisha. And I know tomorrow, I think we've crossed paths and everything, right? And Chrissy, I don't think we've ever engaged with each other. So this is amazing to me. I have 5 new friends. 5 new friends. Okay, so let's go to the next one. What do people say about you? True story for me. So my background is I'm a former journalist. I worked in television news. I worked in newspapers. I was a member of the Capitol Press Corps here in Tallahassee, chasing after governors. I did a field producer for the major networks. And then I made the transition into public relations. And when I moved into public relations, I really didn't know the industry, but I knew how to communicate. When I was a little girl, my mother said I never shut my mouth. I was always talking. I was always inquisitive. I was always asking questions. So I was born to be a communicator. And I started working with a client, and I think I had been working with them for probably a year. And we were coming up on our renewal for our contract. And he got up in front of this room of all these board people and said, Heidi is the most diligent communicator I have ever experienced in my entire life. She gets things done. And I've never, that's just amazing. And I was blown away because I was just doing my thing, just working, just trying to be the best communicator I could be in an industry that was really new to me. And that stuck with me. 17 years later, I'll never forget when he said that. And then as I reflected in Paris that time, I was like, yeah, I was like, I do whatever it takes to get it done because it needs to get done, right? Very results driven. So now I'm going to ask y'all, what do people say about you, Barbara?
I'm thinking I don't know. Does it have to be a good thing? Should it be a good thing, or can it?
Well, ideally, it would be a good thing. Why do they keep coming back to you? Why do they support you? Why do they invite you?
I hope that. Well, I'm trying to think of something that someone said, but I hope it would be that they know that I really care about being a champion for women.
All right, you're gonna need to do some testimonials for Women Wednesday. You need to ask
Okay.
them why they watch, why they support SwellCoin, so you can hear what people say about you. It's really important that you know that, because that really helps define your reputation, right? And
Good
what
point.
people say about you. This is
and I think maybe for other people too, it's getting over that discomfort of talking about yourself.
Oh yeah, that's why we're doing this, right? Yeah, exactly. And to overcome imposter syndrome, right? Because obviously we're doing something right, and we need to recognize that. Dana, what do people say about you and your products?
Oh gosh,
you already heard what Chrissy said.
Well, yes, that's a different era in my life. I'm a much better person now. I just have to say that honestly, this is a hard one for me because I'm working to change the person that I was in the past. And that is because I started working when I was 15, and up until about, I'll say 9 years ago, I was an executive assistant, high pressure, always in very, very high pressure jobs. I was an excellent employee. I always did an excellent job. I always do 100%. However, I have chronic health issues. And because of those chronic health issues, I would go into work a lot in pain. Pain comes off as anger or attitude sometimes. Mm-hmm. And while I did not have an attitude, it often came out that way because I'm having to deal with these high pressure situations and deal with the pain and manage the pain. It turned me into a person that I did not like. By the time that I realized the way that I was speaking to people was definitely out of pain, it was time for a change. Yeah. And this is how I started into Knots in Maine. I walked out. I left. It was about my pain. It was about making me a better person and being the mother and grandmother that I want to be, and a representative of that person walking in it every day. So I left. I left my executive high paying position and my security. This is what I'm doing now. And I am a better person. So what I hope people are saying about me now is that I'm 100% honest. I've always been. I will be honest 100%. That if I'm behind you, I'm behind you. I will not move unless you do something to move me. I'm a good person. I always will be a good person, even if that means that I get the short end of the stick. Mm-hmm. This is what I hope people are saying about me. I hope people are saying that my products are as 100% as she is.
Right. That's good. I love that. That's a great tagline.
Thank you.
That's a great tagline. I don't know if you have one.
I actually think I met Barbara a couple times in some of these circles. I was definitely in them.
Great. April.
Let's see. People usually say pineapple. Either the pineapple lady, pineapple queen. A lot of people say make room for your crown.
I love
that's
that.
my motto. Pretty consistent and passionate. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and I'm not afraid to, so as a therapist, I see a lot. And so I'm not afraid to digest very tough and hard conversations.
Okay, good. That's good. Tamara.
I'll just say about me, because I think this is what my colleagues would say about me as well, or they have. I've heard authentic a lot, which means a lot to me personally. I've heard curious and that I'm a learner, that I'm passionate, which a lot of people have said. Charismatic is something that I've heard a lot over the past few years. And creative as well. And I think, actually, it was one of the things that my now supervisor asked my references about me. What is something that you would say about Tamara? And it was that I don't think what I do is a big deal, but it is. So
That's really
that was
good.
another thing. I think, which probably also goes into my relatability with people. I'm pretty authentic about that. I don't know that I should be, but I am.
Lanisha.
I have a lot. I always get told as far as how proud I am and how far I've come, especially in the drive that I have for myself and for everyone around me. They understand. It's how can I'm sorry, I'm getting a little twisted here, but I'm always finding new ways to grow and learn and do what it takes, to make myself or my business better. For example, like I had a friend of mine the other day, she told me how proud I was because I am I've gotten myself certified as a woman in minority-owned business for the Big Bend. So it's one of those things, for the state of Florida. Actually, I'm the only bartending company, Black-owned, woman-owned bartending company that's certified across the state of Florida.
That's
one of those. Yeah.
That's a USP. That's a unique selling point. Use it. Awesome. Chrissy.
Well, first of all, I want to say, everyone, please make sure you share your contact information in the comments, even after this, because people are asking for everyone's information. So what's funny, Heidi, is you and I have very similar background. I was a news reporter, anchor, journalist, producer for 10 years. And now I'm completely different.
Right. Same here.
But I'm still using the skill sets that I learned during that time and applying it in my everyday life. And I think that's what sets me apart. And what people say about me is that I get done.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I'm determined. And I would like to think that people say this about me, but I only know one person that has said this about me, except for me. So when I first started dating my partner, I told him, I was like, you do realize that you're dating a trendsetter. And so I like to say that I am an innovator. And I hope that other people think that about me, but that just may be me and my, myself talking to myself.
Listen,
but anyway,
speak it.
You're a trendsetter.
Speak it and be it. That's
I love you.
Yeah, I always speak things
and
into
be it.
existence. If that's one thing someone would say about me, is I speak things into existence to get things done.
We're kindred spirits, because I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. Watch me. I mean, actually, if you go on some of my social media profiles, it actually says, watch me. Okay, so let's talk about the Promise Solution Framework. So we went through the 5 questions. You all have already started listing out responses that you can build into your enhanced elevator pitch. So now I'm going to give you this framework. So I'm a what? What is that promise? I mean, I'll give you an example. Lanisha says she was a certified mixologist. That got my attention. And what does that mean to be a certified mixologist? She said her drinks are delicious and she can make them with or without alcohol. Okay, you got my attention, right? Very short, very succinct, boom, you got me, right? Chrissy talked about wearable art that's handmade and one of a kind. That got my attention. Pineapples with purpose. You got to the core of tough issues, much like a pineapple. That got my attention. And then when Dana said 100% Black owned, woman owned, high quality, you get the real deal with me. And I'm summarizing because that's what I got, the real deal. That got my attention. So think through that. I can help. So we need to insert a verb here. How are you helping people? Because at the end of the day, we're all selfish individuals and we want to be around people that either we can help or they can help us. That's just human nature, right? People choose us or they engage with us because there's some kind of mutually beneficial relationship that could come out of this engagement, right? So how can you help people? I shared with you before that one client said that I was diligent, that I would get things done. And I reflect on that. I said, I get it done, right? And that's my promise to you and to anyone that I communicate with, right? So think through, what is that? The empathy. I'm a good listener. The words I heard was, I'm going to help protect people's reputations. Yeah, because if you drink too much, you can make an ass of yourself and ruin your reputation because you may get pulled over for drinking and driving, and it's in the front page of the Tallahassee Democrat, right? Because that has happened. We've seen the headlines, So think of those things, how you help people, and then what is your solution? What is your solution? So I'm going to go first and then let y'all give you I think we have 9 minutes left in our 1 hour discussion today. And I want to try to get through everybody if we can, or whoever says I'm ready, we'll let you go. And then for everybody else, if you need more time, that's okay. Because this is not an easy exercise. You really need to think it through how you're going to present yourself. So is anybody kind of ready if they want to share? Anybody? I can go first. And then, Barbara, we got to end right at 2, right? We're 1 hour.
If we run over, we run over.
Okay.
All right. It's like, if anybody else has to leave during that time, then that's okay.
Yeah, I just want to give everybody a chance. Because again, for me in this exercise, I worked on mine on the plane back from Paris and updated it, just really thinking through what I do. So I'm going to go ahead and share mine. I think everyone has gotten this. And for those who are watching, hopefully you got a screenshot. And, Chrissy, I'll give you something that maybe you could share with folks that they can access. They can reach out to me and get a copy of this. So here's mine. Hello, my name is Heidi Otway. I'm a results-driven advisor and strategist for companies and organizations doing business in Florida. I help them inform and influence diverse audiences across the Sunshine State. I can help you become fluent in Floridian too, which is our brand, Fluent in Floridian. So somewhere in there, people say, oh, what does Fluent in Floridian mean? Oh, a strategist? What companies do you work with? They're all in Florida? What does that mean? So they're always asking questions about what I say, which means I got their attention. Something I said and all that. Diverse audiences? Yeah, Florida is the 3rd most populous state in the country. And we have diverse audiences, people who speak multiple languages. They come from different countries. And I know how to speak to them. And I can help you do that too. So again, these little nuggets that I could just drop that they can grab on. I'm a business in Florida. Do you work with companies like mine? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So again, when you're having this conversation with someone, you tailor it to who you're speaking to, right? But at the core of it, that's it. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna swing at this because you kind of took my first one out the way, so I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I'm going to say I'm a licensed bartender, and what I can help you with is by reducing your liability. Licensed bartenders are trained and trained in responsible alcohol serving, and they know how to allow your guests to have a good time without putting you at risk.
Why didn't you say you're a certified mixologist?
It's because I can say that, but you also, as a certified mixologist, as a licensed bartender, you also have to know the liquor liability laws.
Ooh.
So
is there
there's
any way you can combine both of those?
You can.
So you can say, I'm licensed to serve beverages, alcoholic
So
beverages.
what I normally do, and this is what I share on my social media platforms, I normally say I'm licensed to serve and certified to mix. That's how I normally put it.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that. You got my attention. Tell me more.
So that's pretty much what the difference is. As you know, being licensed, you just have to make sure that you're following the alcohol laws for our state or for any state. Just being a licensed bartender, just serving alcohol.
Right.
You have to know the legalities and how much liquor to pour. Make sure you're not over pouring when you're serving. Things like that. And versus a certified.
Do it all again in like 20 seconds. You and I just met while pumping gas outside at the Shell station, and I saw the name of your company somewhere on you. You had on a shirt, and I said, "What do you
do?" Okay. So I'm Lanisha. I am a certified mixologist. I am a licensed bartender and certified mixologist for Running Buzz Bartending Services LLC. We are a service that provides mobile bartending and beverage catering services for events of all ages and sizes across the state of Florida. We not only serve cocktails, but we also serve mocktails. I am licensed to serve and certified to mix.
Hello.
That was hard.
Very good. Short, you got my attention. You said some key buzzy words in there that made me say, tell me more about that chief mixologist thing. Or you can do mocktails. Yeah, more and more people are drinking mocktails now, right? So you said all these buzzy words that somewhere in there, someone's going to say, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. I'm April, an art therapist, community catalyst, and creative mind shifter. I can help individuals and families use art and the pineapple to explore their inner core by turning pain into purpose. Let me help you make room for your crown.
I love it. Now, the only thing you didn't do is you didn't say pineapples with purpose, which would be the anchor that ties through the pineapple being the core and the services that you provide. So be sure to say, I am the owner and founder of Pineapples with Purpose. And then that anchors the next piece of what you said, because that got my attention.
Okay.
What does everybody else think? Yes? Yeah, that was on point. Who's next?
Okay, here we go. So for me, my live streaming, that's way easier for me to pitch. So I'm going to do kitschy wearable art because it's for so long, I've lived under the identity of a news journalist. And so for me, it's like second nature to be able to do that. But for my own art, it's a little bit different for me. So challenge accepted. Okay, so my name is Chrissy Souders. I am the founder and lead artist of Kitschy Wearable Art, where we make customizable wearable art gifts out of handmade resin jewelry. And we also offer wholesale to artists and nonprofits as a means to create a way to make money. At Kitschy Wearable Art, sometimes it's in poor taste, but often nostalgic and unique. We're making art more accessible and visible in your everyday lives.
I love that. Now, I really like when you said earlier that this is art that you can pass down for generations. Because when you think about art, especially if you invest in it, so it could be, maybe you can use, people invest in my work because it's one of a kind and unique, and it could be handed down for generations to come. That lets me know this ain't dollar store jewelry. Honest, I mean, I'm being, you know what I mean? That's what makes it unique.
Absolutely right.
This is, you're, even though it's at a good price point, it's an investment that you can hand down for generations to come. So you're going to keep this for as long, till the day that you die, and you're going to hand it off.
Okay.
So I like,
so maybe really driving the sentimental aspect
yeah,
of
because
it.
that's what makes it unique to, that's just me. But again, you're going to tailor it to whomever you're speaking with. So if you're speaking to, wholesalers, you'll have a elevator pitch for them. If you're talking to me as a buyer, what makes you unique? Why should I buy your jewelry over, like I said, going to the dollar store? Is that I'm making this small investment in something that's unique and one of a kind that you could pass on to your daughters or your family members. Okay, now you got my attention.
So mine is definitely tailored to my audience.
Exactly. All of us should have, our pitches should be tailored to our audience, because the way I said my elevator pitch would be different to the CEO versus, the person at the, who may be the executive secretary. It may be a little bit different, a little nuanced based on who I'm speaking to.
And I think that's where a lot of business owners, when they're trying to do their pitch, it's like, they want to speak to a broader audience.
You can.
But then there's also categories within your business, so thank you for that.
Exactly. And again, it goes back to whose problem are you solving, right? So who are you speaking to within that company who's considering you to help solve their problems? So if I'm talking to the CEO, his problems are going to be different probably than the communications director, because the communications director's job is to help the company communicate to their various stakeholders, where the CEO, his problem is, how do I increase revenue? How do I generate more sales? So each of them have different roles and different problems. Anybody else?
I guess that's me.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so let's see. Hi, my name is Dana Brower. I am the owner of Knots in Maine All Natural Holistic Products. I am a modern day medicine maker. I can help you live a healthier life through nature and natural resources. All products are 100% guaranteed, made grandmother's way.
Oh my God.
That was good.
That's good. That's good.
So let's reflect. Remember what you all said when we first got on this session? Remember? We were just like, la, 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 la. Yes. Now we got it down to a very clear, succinct, very nailed who you are, who you serve, the problems that you solve, what makes you different, and what do people say about you. You did it. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
You guys are great. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I'm so inspired right now. I got like goosebumps. I got goosebumps. Well, that's the end of our session here. I hope that everyone who was watching on this live stream got something out of it. And thank you, Barbara. Thank you for your diligence in working with me in my crazy schedule to have me on the program. Chrissy,
Heidi,
such a great.
So thank you so
you.
much. And so in closing, I was going to a little bit give my little pitch.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, I'm Barbara Westcott. I'm the founder of Women Wednesdays, and we're on a mission to make Tallahassee a #1 city for women. We help increase opportunities for women in spaces and places by building collaboration. And by we offer weekly program by raising the visibility of women through our speaker series, our intern program, our tech support, and we're soon launching something called Women's Words, a blog for showcasing the words of women in our community. So that was my little spiel for Women Wednesday.
What a perfect way to close.
Okay. But thank you. Okay, good. Excellent. Well, excellent. So Heidi, thank you so very much for being with us today. And I hope and let's just quickly talk about the importance of having a quick pitch, a 30-second to a minute pitch. Like you said, you're meeting people for the first time or introducing yourself, and being able to get that out there succinctly to people is really, really important. So thank you so much for being here with us today, and especially to our guests who came in and shared their story and worked on their pitch in front of other people. I know that can be kind of intimidating. So thank you so much, all of you.
And I hope all of you all create a little video and share this, with folks, because, folks like videos. Barbara, I think when you're producing a promo for this program, what you just said is what you should say in that promo, and have all these faces of women who've come through and shared their knowledge and expertise and forged new friendships. If you could do that, this is just going to take this up higher and higher. So thank you. This is awesome.
Well, and luckily for us, let's just think about it. We are so lucky in Tallahassee. We truly have so many amazing women in our community. There's so much we can do when we work together. So speaking of amazing women, I think I'll just go ahead and mention about our speaker next week. So how many of you here know Renee Miller? Okay, well, Renee Miller, she's the founder. She runs City Walk Urban Mission.
Oh, she with all of our money.
Yeah.
Right. And Chrissy, I don't know if you have that slide available to show up for next week, but she'll be our speaker next week. The plight of homelessness in our community, particularly since COVID, because it is really, just like we're talking about, we're changing the way we're doing things. You can imagine for homelessness, how that changes. And she is a woman on a mission, and she's doing so much to talk about this issue, bring awareness about it, and hopefully bring some solutions as well. So we're very much looking forward to having her next week. And recognize that with Women Wednesdays, every single week, we feature women from our community. So if you're a woman out there, you have something you want to say or present on Women Wednesdays, just go to our website at womenwednesdays.com and we'll get you on our schedule. So everybody have a wonderful week, and thank you all for being here with us today.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.